Ooh, oh boy. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan right now. Okay, so I was expecting Disney Plus to drop at 3 a.m. Pacific Standard, which is exactly when the countdown timer on their website had said that they were going to kick off. So lo and behold, at 10 p.m. Pacific, I'm sitting on my couch, I'm surfing Twitter, I see message on Twitter that says, "Oh, Disney Plus app is live." I'm like, all right, cool. I go over to download it. I go and I download it, thinking I'll just kind of thumb through it for a while, then go back to what I was doing. And of course, I click on Mandalorian, I click play, and the episode begins. And I wasn't prepared. I didn't have anything down to take notes. I just sat there for 40 minutes and I watched The Mandalorian. And I have to say, it is off to a fantastic start. Even if the first half of the first episode is a lot of what I've already seen before, especially if you saw any of the leaked footage that came out of Star Wars Celebration. It most definitely set the tone for what was going to come. What I thought was really fascinating was the whole fact that at the ESPN tonight, or when Monday Night Football, one of those things that they did, they showed off like a 2 minute special sneak preview, sneak look or whatever. And what it was literally the first 2 minutes of the show. And we were all kind of speculating, did Mando, when that guy got sucked into that thing, did he get cut in two? Spoiler alert, he got cut in two. But he wasn't the guy that Mando was after. It was another dude, a blue alien. You see him in the same shot. And of course, that guy tries to buy himself out of it. The Mando doesn't take no crap, gets him on the ship, and they're flying through space. He's like, hey, man, I got to go use the bathroom, and he's sneaking around the ship. You're like, oh, he's going to look for any way he can to get out of there. Mando sets him up with a false sense of security, then shows up and throws his ass in carbonite freezing chamber. Lands, goes and talks to Carl Weathers. Passes in those bounties. But what I found to be really interesting with that was how Griff Karga was going to pay the Mando for the bounties, because he pulls out Imperial credits. Right. He pulls out Imperial credits and he's like, those are Imperial. And he's like, yeah, but they spend the same. Like, well, I mean, I don't think you've heard, but the Empire is kind of gone at this point in time. And so no real information on that front. No big information on that. But what we know is that he then takes, mostly it's Mon Calamari credits that are half the price of the Imperial, which he then takes because he's totally okay with that. Realizing at that point, at least what I thought was really interesting, was the fact that you had different currencies playing off of different planets, but still overall operating within the galaxy. For the longest time, the Empire had control, which would mean that Imperial credits most likely became the norm. But now that it's been 5 years, each of these areas is going to probably end up having, well, they're already going to have had their own currency, but now we get to see a bit more of that in play, which is fascinating because as far as I can tell, in any kind of live action situation, we've never seen that before. So that was a cool little world building a moment that was very minimal, but I liked it quite a bit. It really resonated with me. It really impacted me. And then from there, Mando takes the special secret job, goes and talks to Werner Herzog. And again, a lot of that dialogue we'd already seen if you watched the trailers, especially if you saw the 7-minute leak that came out of Star Wars Celebration. So I'd already kind of seen all that before, but I was still really enjoying it quite a bit. He takes that job, he gets the Beskar steel, and then goes and gets it, forged into more armor. But there was, again, a little interesting line there, and I need to go back and watch it again, and I intend to. Was he got the armor, and the woman Mandalorian who forged it, the blacksmith, she was like, oh, the excess here will go a long way with the tribes. Like, that wasn't a lot of Beskar steel, but apparently like there was stuff left over from that one, ingot that he had gotten that I loved, was branded with the Imperial logo and everything else. So clearly what we know right now is that Mando is on his way with this guy in order to get everything. So then he travels. This is the thing too. I found was kind of weird. I need to go back and watch it again. But when he gets the bounty, and the bounty says like, "Hey man, it's like, oh, we can't tell you where this thing is at. We can only give you this like tracker device, but only like 4 of the 8 codes work." It was very kind of. It might be explained further down the road what that was. It felt like complications, but we didn't see any complications with Mando tracking this thing down. He gets to the planet, meets up with Kui, an Ugnaught voiced by Nick Nolte, who did a great job, by the way. And they decide to, Nick Nolte goes to help him, and he helps him. I love the reason why he helps him too. He helps him because he moved to that planet for peace and quiet, and there's been, raiders or bandits or thugs, gangsters, whatever these guys were that were in this compound, and there were a lot of them. They definitely kept the place from being peace and quiet because other bounties had gone after him before and other bounties had died. So he gets up, goes and checks it out, scopes it out. On his way down, IG-11 shows up, right? And I was like, oh, damn, yeah, man, IG-11. And they get into this, like, massive firefight, but there's this great like the chemistry between Mando and IG-11 was fantastic, because like they were kind of setting up this bromance thing, like, hey, let's just work together, we'll split the bounty, blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, I'm okay with that, let's do that. And then they just, they pulled this kind of like in the middle of a firefight, Wild West, hey, my enemy is my friend, right? Why don't we be cool right now? We'll split this, we'll work together. And then from there, we'll go and see what the cargo is, what the shipment is, what it is we have to get back. And so they blast everybody, and it was awesome. Again, you saw a lot of that in the trailer, which was interesting that most of what we saw came from the first episode, which is fascinating to me, because it really makes me question what's coming down the road. And they said that they didn't want any spoilers to happen, which is why there was no early reviews that went out. And I trust me, once they blast down the door, and they see what they're going after, I was shocked. I legitimately was like, wait, what? My girlfriend's like, wait, what? The baby Yoda. What the hell, man? And then the IG-11 tried to kill it, he's like, my orders are to kill it. I have no feelings. I'm an assassin droid. And so then Mando kills IG-11 just like that, takes him out. Now he's stuck with, now he's looking at this baby, puts his finger out, the baby, I forget the whatever it's called, the race species that Yoda is, but he touches fingers and that's where it ends. And it has this nice montage at the end that I really like, different drawings of Mando while going through the end credits. Again, really good episode, a bit slow in the first half, again, only because I think I'd already seen like the vast majority of it, from the previews. So it just kind of felt like a bit of a slow start. And then once it got to the end, all the stuff I hadn't seen, it was really great. I'm looking forward to going back and watching it again tomorrow when I get up. I'm just gonna get breakfast. I'm gonna get my kids and like watch the show again. And I was really surprised. Dave Filoni did a good job directing it. It was a little bit rough, like I said, but I think it's like that's his first live action, and he's doing a couple episodes this season, so we'll see how he kind of gets into it. Besides, the first episode is always rough as it establishes the world. You could see the technology that they used, the massive video screens that they used for the different worlds, like when they're on the ice planet in the beginning and when he goes to the desert planet at the end. Different planets, different environments, different effects, and ILM can easily make these world effects because they built the technology to pre-create it. So that's pretty cool. The soundtrack was pretty awesome. It didn't feel like Star Wars, which is, I think, my only complaint. Music-wise, it didn't have any of that. But then again, this is a totally different story. This is not connected to the Skywalker saga in any way, at least for right now. So I found myself very much happy with what I saw. This is definitely the start to something that's great, beautifully made. The CG is beautiful. I mean, the creatures, I forget what they were called. They're not dewbacks. They're another form, like blurgs is what QB called them. And the CG on them was a little bit weird. It kind of felt like it was like half puppet, half CG. It was a little bit wonky. It was definitely the low point of the CG, in and everything. And I think probably, and this might have just been my television, everything felt a little bit on the dark side. I cranked the brightness all the way up, and it was just, maybe it's just my TV was having trouble with it. Disney said that they were broadcasting in 4K UHD. I don't know if that's what I got. I didn't get the chance to go and look through, but then again, it could just be my television. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to check it on my computer, brighter screen and everything else. Anyway, look, we're in it. We're in it. Star Wars is here. Star Wars is on Disney Plus. All the movies are on Disney Plus, 4K UHD streaming with the exception of Last Jedi and Solo. There's the Mando is here. And on Friday, when we get another episode, it's going to be another kick-ass part of the adventure. And it definitely feels like there is some crazy stuff coming, especially with the baby Yoda showing up. because like, is it a, you know, and the thing is though, that baby had been there for 50 years, well before the events of, you know, we're talking like, wait, 50, no, okay, I was like 50 years. Would that be like the Clone Wars? Would that be the Clone Wars era? I don't think so, but it could be, you know, because no, there was 5 years past Return of the Jedi, okay, and then Luke, you know, was like mid-20s right at that point in time. So you take another 30. Yeah, it could be. Actually, it's possible that this could tie into the Clone Wars. Filoni having directed this, Favreau having written it. What if Yoda had cloned himself or something along those lines? Because it just looked just like Yoda. It was so cute. That damn thing is going to sell lots of toys if they put that thing in stores for the holiday season. I guarantee it. Anyway, I liked it, and I can't wait for more. I'm stoked. I'm happy. This is exactly what I wanted. And thank you very much to Favreau and Disney for making this thing, because we are now in the new age of Star Wars. It officially happened tonight, and I am all for it. Anyway, your thoughts, your opinions, let me know down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you did, what did you really like? What didn't you like? These are things I'm curious to know. And of course, look for my breakdown that will be coming, and more Mandalorian coverage on this channel very soon. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out. This video is supported by patrons like you. If you'd like to become a patron, please head over to patreon.com/Matt Jarbo.